All right. It is good to see you. You know, we just went through a little, graduation season where people start matriculating and moving on to bigger and brighter things. Well, I'm here to tell you on June 21st that the San Francisco Giants have officially graduated from kind of interesting all the way to downright entertaining. I mean, that's where we are right here. We are downright entertaining. The Giants are fun to watch. There were times during the years where the Giants were winning championships where I don't know if they qualified as fun to watch, to be totally honest with you, but it feels like they are fun to watch now. It feels like they are officially interesting. And man, last night, you got Jock Peterson homering to tie the game in the 8th inning, and then a walk-off, bases-loaded walk in the 9th for Jock, and everyone goes home happy for the 9th straight time. The Giants have won 9 in a row. They're looking for 10 tonight. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. We got ourselves a baseball season, boys and girls. Now, I know that it is a big, busy NBA week. We've been talking NBA, and we're going to get to NBA here. But my goodness, look, this youth movement that the Giants have, I mean, it's a legitimate youth movement. They set the table for the win last night. You got Matos starting the 9th for San Francisco with a 1-out walk. Then you got Patrick Bailey with a single to left. Pinch hitter Casey Schmidt loads them up after getting a free pass on a pitch clock violation. Now, I know Casey Schmidt doesn't really like to walk very much, but he's drawn a couple of very important walks in the last couple of games. These 2 wins over the San Diego Padres have had to deal with his patience. Man, all I can tell you is that this is a team that has got a little something going for it. We normally when a baseball team is losing, you say something out loud like, it's really not whether you're winning or losing, it's how you're playing. Well, let's apply that to a 9-game winning streak too. Because it's really not whether you're winning or losing in baseball. There's enough days to lose built into the regular season as it is to where you don't need to worry about dropping a game here or there. For the most part, how are you playing? Are you stringing together good at-bats? Is your bullpen giving you good innings? Are your starters giving you, well, we live in a day where if your starter gives you 4, that's good, right? I mean, it's ridiculous what we ask starting pitchers to do or not do these days. But even in the 9-game winning streak, the 9 wins aside, the Giants are playing really good baseball. They're certainly not the defensive adventure that they were all last year, so it looks like they've shored that up a little bit. They got new faces in new places that are actually producing very early in their rookie seasons. That's exciting. They're playing a brand of baseball where they are coming back almost on a nightly basis. You used to watch a Giants game, and it was 3-4-0 in the 4th or 5th inning, and you'd be like, well, what else is on tonight? They're not coming back from that. A 3-run cushion used to be devastating. Not anymore. Not anymore. This team's got a little something going for it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. San Diego, by the way, going with Yu Darvish tonight. The Giants are turning to Ryan Walker to start a bullpen game. The rookie's been impressive. He's got 16-plus relief innings. He's looked really good. We'll see what he looks like as a starter and opener tonight, if that's what you want to call it. We'll see how much of a leash he gets. And look, for all the criticism of Farhan and Gabe Kapler, critics have been pretty silent this month, haven't they? Gabe Kapler might be a weirdo. He is a weirdo. But he's a weirdo that's got things on the right track right now. And say whatever you want about Farhan, what he has or has not done. This is starting to work. This is officially starting to work, and it doesn't feel like it's working with over-tinkering as much as it's working with, hey, we got some guys who are starting to turn into some everyday players out here. Mike Yastrzemski, the straw that stirs the drink, is starting to heat it up. So this has been a really good month of baseball for the San Francisco Giants. And man, don't look now. I think they're only 2.5 back of the division lead. Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. But first, let me tell you about my wonderful sponsors. This handsome guy right here in this cardboard cutout, that is Ike. Ike sells sandwiches for a living, and he does it to the tune of almost 100 stores open on the West Coast. No matter where you are, there's probably an Ike's around you. Go get yourself a delicious sandwich. You're going to be happy that you did. Any taste, any flavor that you could possibly think of wanting, he's got it for you. So get yourself to Ike's. You know the legend. It grows by the day. Speaking of growing legends, Uncle Boys. Uncle Boys is a delicious cheeseburger to be found in the Inner Richmond on Balboa and 4th. You go ahead. You get yourself an Uncle Boys burger. You get the OG, the cowboy burger. You get some onion rings. And do not forget the lumpia. Oh, the lumpia is legit. Get yourself some lumpia at Uncle Boys. Already tried the burger like that? Good. Didn't get the lumpia? You got a reason to go back now. And when you go and step up to the bar, look for a bottle of blackened whiskey. Metallica's got a real deal whiskey out on the market right now. You can pick it up at Bevmo. You can get it at a few other places as well. And I suggest you don't just get one bottle, you get two. You're going to be very happy. You're going to like it on the rocks. You're going to like it neat. You're going to like it in a cocktail. It is versatile. It is delicious. You want a great whiskey that is smooth, yummy, spicy, at a very approachable price point. You get yourself a bottle of blackened, and you'll be happy, happy, happy that you indeed did. Love our sponsors. It grows, baby. And thanks to all of you. I'm looking at the chat. There are new names in the chat by the day. There are new people. New names I have not seen before, names I have not noticed before. Not only are they showing in and up during the show, they've already joined the plusers who are waiting and chatting with each other before the show even begins. So I thank you very, very much. We're growing, and we've officially crossed an ocean. We'll get to all of that in just a second. I love, since we're talking a little baseball here to open today's show, I love the hum baby that the Giants put up above the archway out on the brick wall in right center field. Keep that. That shouldn't just be there for the rest of the year. I love that hum baby Roger Craig tribute. Keep that bad boy. It looks fantastic. It's part of Giants lore. If the Giants had to have, what is your still official saying? That's it. Tell it goodbye and hum baby are the two phrases that come to my mind when I think of Giants baseball. So I love that little tribute to Roger Craig that they put up on that brick wall. I would 100% keep that up. Look at this. By the way, we got people saying, this is Michael saying Damon's getting that overseas Japan love. Indeed we are. Indeed we are. Hum baby. I love that sign. Yeah, me too. I really like it. Rockin' New Era 84. I love that sign. It looks fantastic. Erwin, talking about the lumpia. Los cigarellos are fired up for the dipping sauce. Yeah, oh, dude, they are so good. That dipping sauce they got, that little spicy sweet and sour that they give you with the lumpia, I like that an awful lot. Erwin going with lumpia cigarellos. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. I don't know if I said that right. I hope I said that right. But look, this is, speaking of eating, Baron Red saying, I'm eating crow on Farhan. I was wrong. Well, look, Farhan's done plenty of things that are worthy of criticism. But being incompetent, putting together a team that knows how to go out and play and win baseball games, I don't know if he's guilty of that. He's guilty of being off on a few flavor notes, but this guy's not ruining the meal. There is no doubt about that. Here's a new name. Here's a new name right here. Datu Blessed. Wifey getting me this Thursday's game. I'm hoping the Giants are going for a sweep. First game for the 1-year-old, too. That's awesome. Wait a minute. Is that my guy from Uncle Boys? I think that's my man from Uncle Boys. I don't think I can count him as new. But you know what? Here's a name I'm not familiar with. Who's Vince Pindar? Plus. Bruce. Welcome. Welcome to the family. We hope you plan on sticking around. Look, we'll get back into the chat for Club Plus. Again, it's great to see so many new names in here. Great to see that hum baby on the outfield wall. I really like that. When it comes to playing exciting baseball, coming back and coming from behind is part of that journey, right? And the Giants are all over that part of the journey right now, but it's coming kind of commonplace in baseball. I saw this last night. Coming back from a crooked number is really very fashionable these days around baseball. On Tuesday, the Milwaukee Brewers rallied to beat Arizona, becoming the 10th consecutive day that at least one major league team has come back from a 4-run deficit to win a baseball game. The 10 consecutive days of at least one team rallying from a 4-run deficit to win ties the longest streak in modern baseball history. It also happened in May back in 2000. So what do you attribute that to? What could that be attributed to? Declining talent in the bullpen? No, that's not it. Bullpen's got talent like never before around Major League Baseball. Every team's bringing 98 with cheese out of the pen at some point. So is it the pitch count? Is it the pitch clock? Like, what is leading to these comebacks? I don't know. But it's happening frequently in baseball. When 4 runs basically used to mean, yeah, this game's pretty much over right here. It ain't over right here anymore, and it's not been that way for the Giants. And by the way, with that Brewers rally against the Diamondbacks, the Giants are just 2.5 back of the Diamondbacks in the division. So just throwing that out there. So while the Giants have won 9 in a row, obviously for the A's, it's never a sunny day. They're in Cleveland. They're at the Guardians. They're riding a 6-game losing streak. So back to sadness for A's fans. I'm so sorry. And again, we've gone across the pond. It grows, baby. It absolutely grows. Ohtani Tuesdays is something that we're going to be doing. The most popular video I've put out here since doing this, it's not about the Warriors, it's not about the 49ers, it's not about the Giants, it was about Shohei Ohtani. And, you know, as I'm trying to figure out YouTube and how to use it and make that algorithm like me very much, you want to double down on the things that are working and are being picked up by people, and you want to walk away from the things that aren't working. So not just to please the algorithm, but to do it for me too. I mean, there's no performative here. If I'm not interested in it, I'm not going to be doing it. I think Shohei Ohtani is the single greatest baseball player to ever be born. I mean, if he were in Yankees pinstripes, you would be so sick and tired of him by now because he'd be so jammed down your throat. We have this greatest resource that the game has ever seen, and it hasn't been plundered yet. It hasn't been exploited yet, which means it's still sort of innocent and pure and beautiful. Not when I'm done with it. No, I'm just kidding. I have a friend. I have a friend in Japan who introduced himself to me via email, reached out, and it's one of the most lovely emails I've ever received. I want to open it up. I almost want to share it with you here. Listen to this. We're just not writing emails like this to each other in America. Dear Damon Bruce Sama, my name is Shirashi. I'm writing to you from Japan, and I'm a big fan of your content. First and foremost, please accept my sincere apologies for the abruptness of this message. Recently, a friend of mine requested a favor asking me to translate one of your channel's videos. It was the one about Ohtani. Because there's such an excitement, we want to share your excitement with Japanese speakers. I deeply respect your work and understand the importance of respecting a content creator's rights upon reflection. I've realized that my actions may have crossed boundaries, and I genuinely apologize for any discomfort or inconvenience caused if you find my translations inappropriate. Okay, there hasn't been an email that lovely written in the United States probably in the last 10 years. So, Shirashi, thank you. Not only have you not caused me any discomfort, not only have you not caused me any inconvenience, you have brought a smile to my face that goes from ear to ear. I love the fact that my YouTube videos about Shohei Ohtani are being translated into Japanese for Japanese baseball fans. I couldn't be more humbled, man. Seriously, thank you so very, very much. So Every Tuesday, we're going to have Ohtani Tuesdays. It's going to be a weekly Ohtani report. He does something special. We'll break right in. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can go whenever you want, but we will be spotlighting Shohei Ohtani because he is literally the greatest baseball player of all time, and we need to start appropriately covering him as such. He starts tonight for the Angels, by the way. The Angels were shut down by Clayton Kershaw last night, who was all kinds of Clayton Kershaw-y last night. He was fantastic. Dodgers got a win over the Angels. Kershaw's got like a 22-inning scoreless streak going on at Angel Stadium. So Kershaw was really, really good. It takes a future Hall of Famer to shut down a future Hall of Famer, I guess. But look, this is what you need to know about Ohtani, and that was the gist of last night's video. Mike Trout is comprehensively one of the single greatest baseball players of all time. And he has been completely pushed off the statistical leaderboard by his teammate, who does everything you've ever wanted to see a player do from the mound, and he also does it in the batter's box. There's just nothing like him. Again, Damon, you find a way to crack into that Philippine algorithm. Well, I keep talking about lumpia, so I'm hopefully halfway there. Thank you very much. And that, by the way, is my man at Uncle Boy's. Datu blessed. I appreciate that. Sugar Shane, 555. Damon Bruce, Ichiban. Konnichiwa. I was talking to Jillian last night. I'm like, can I get a geisha to come do the show with me? She's like, would that be offensive? I'm like, I don't think so. It's not like I'm inventing the geisha. They did that. And then I said to Jillian, what do you mean offensive? Who's going to suspend me? What do you mean? How can I offend anybody? If I do, I don't care. I think it'd be hot to have a geisha here translating my Ohtani videos. It's just me. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll see. We will see. If the sponsors really go, Flint on Demand saying, so come on down to see your Tokyo-era Toyota dealer and tell them that Damon sent you. It's a home run of savings. Yeah, I see money in this too. Thank you very much. Look at it this way. How do I get this into an all-expense-paid trip to Japan? That's what I'd like. So Ohtani Tuesdays are coming to you, and I hope you're here for it. The guy's so special. Did you see, by the way, the funny story of Brandon Belt that hit the media this week? Brandon Belt right now is second in American League DH All-Star voting with 1,387,000 plus votes. And he was asked, he's 1,387,000 plus votes behind Shohei Ohtani, who is leading the category. And Brandon Belt says, quote, yeah, that's how you know it's all rigged. I should be number one. Everybody knows I'm a better hitter than he is, a better DH, a better team leader, but here we are. Brandon Belt gets picked up. This quote gets picked up, and people are like, how dare he? So tell me you don't watch much baseball outside of your own market if you're offended by what Brandon Belt said, and you don't know who Brandon Belt is after all these years he played with the Giants. He is just joking. The captain is only joking there. So the electrical tape captain that is Brandon Belt is only joking. It's a very dry sense of humor. It's like a dry heat. It's a dry sense of humor. He does not think he's better than Ohtani. Maybe he thinks he's a better pitcher, but we'll still have to find out, I guess. But that's pretty funny. R.I.P. Cougar Rebel says, hey, the captain went international too. Well, I mean, yeah, just because he's up in Canada. But boy, he pissed off a lot of people. See, Erwin, this is what I'm talking about. Geisha pouring a Damon a cup every time he has a hot take, that'd be viewing gold. Absolutely. Like, we just learned that yesterday was the anniversary of the Karate Kid 2. We could do the tea ceremony with, what was her name? Mikio? Do a tea ceremony. I'm into it. I love ceremony. That's why I still like rolling joints. There's a ceremony to it. By the way, a little jingle jangle will help fill the ganja jar, so you go right ahead. Thank you very, very much. Worst play at the plate of the year happened in baseball last night, and Bruce Bochy had to get ejected because of it. An overturned play at the plate became the winning run for the White Sox, and catcher's interference was the call on Rangers catcher Jonah Heim. Watch that video. Watch it in slow motion. And then listen to the umpire replay booth explanation as to why that was catcher's interference. It makes less sense the more time you're trying to give it your attention. Now, this is the Buster Posey rule, which I hate. I hate the Buster Posey rule. Like I do. I fucking hate that rule. It's Major League Baseball. You should be allowed to crash into the catcher at home plate. If that's just too bad, you know what? If that means the sport's too tough for you, go get a job doing something else. Don't be a catcher. I hate that rule. And I'm going to hate that rule for every day it's there, but I'm going to hate it twice as much on days where they don't even know how to correctly interpret the new stupid rule that I hate so much. I'm talking about Bruce Bochy. I hate it so much. Bruce Bochy says, and I quote, "For that call to be made, I'm dumbfounded. It's absolutely one of the worst calls I've ever seen, and it was done by replay. I just don't get it. I don't care how many times they try to explain it. You can't do that in that situation. It's a shame. It's embarrassing. Really." I agree with you, Boch. I've looked at this thing a million times. The White Sox broadcasters, Jason Benetti and Steve Stone, they couldn't believe it. They couldn't explain it. It was a terrible call, a terrible rule, a terrible call, inappropriately interpreted in the wrong moment. Everything about that play sucks. Damn you, Scott Cousins. R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. Sporticus, you're right about this. That play is why the Buster Posey rule should never have been implemented. You know who would agree with that? Buster Posey. Well, I don't know. I don't know how Buster really feels about that. Buster was just a touch soft. I'm going to just tell you out there. That was his reputation. He was a little soft. He didn't like any contact behind the plate. He didn't like catching Tim Lincecum's changeup because he didn't know where it was going. I don't know if Buster doesn't like that. Michael dropping the Sanchi. Thank you, Michael. All right, I got to get out of the chat. We'll save that for Club Plus starting in just a little bit. I'm going to be talking a little bit later this afternoon, and of course, we'll put it up on YouTube when we have it. I'm going to be doing a home and home with Larry Krueger, I believe, around 5 o'clock today. I'm going to be doing something with Marcus Thompson, a review of where the Warriors are, a preview of what's going to happen for them in the NBA draft tomorrow. Obviously, the conversation will start with Draymond Green, who, has got a lot of people talking about him because he opted out. As I've said many times, the first step to him becoming a Warrior was always him opting out of the one-year player option. He wants a multiple-year deal to return. That much is clear. When it comes to desperately seeking Draymond, I saw The Athletic crank out what would be landing spots for him if somebody really decided we're going to go after Draymond. What teams would Draymond appeal to, and what teams would be appealing to Draymond Green? And there was a little bit of a list. It was a list of options, and most of them feel like they're not even really options. The list starts with the Lakers, saying that, Green loves LeBron. He talks about him constantly. It's the kind of depth that would make this team, the Lakers, a real defensive monster, but it feels like a little bit of a logistical stretch. Sacramento suggested, might be a little awkward considering he stepped on Sabonis. Believe me, if Draymond were to become a Sacramento King, Sabonis would be the first to love him. Kings need defense to tie it all together. The move wouldn't be that far. There's a relationship with Mike Brown, but there's no cap space. So how do you do that? Dallas thrown in there. The Mavericks desperately need someone like Green to direct a defense and turn Luka Doncic into an off-ball weapon. He also sets a culture the Mavericks have failed to build, but again, Dallas has no cap space or attractive pieces to dangle back to the Warriors in any kind of a sign-in trade, so that's probably not happening. The Houston Rockets, They could definitely use a mentor like Draymond Green for that young of a team, but does Draymond want to attach himself to a non-contender full of young players and maybe James Harden coming back for just the strip clubs? Doesn't feel like that's going to be a fit. The Utah Jazz, look, he would be a lot of what the Utah Jazz want, but they're really not a contender right now. Utah, Draymond doesn't feel like a fit. Portland, again, does Portland have the kind of team that Draymond would want to go join? He'd be great for the Trailblazers, but would the Trailblazers be great for Draymond? I don't know. Pacers, I don't think so. Golden State, what do you think about the Golden State Warriors being a good landing spot for Draymond Green? Feels like the two of them could use each other. Look, he's probably going to get the security of a 3 or 4 year deal, around 25 to 27 million spread out over those 3 or 4 years. Will it be bad in the last end of that contract? Probably, but there aren't a lot of deals that aren't bad in the last end of that contract. That's why they're called expiring contracts around the NBA, and they're famous for just clearing cap space if you're willing to move one. I don't see Draymond leaving the Warriors. I don't see the Warriors leaving Draymond. I really think that they put that deal together. When it comes to the draft tomorrow, it's going to be very interesting to see what direction the Warriors go in. Again, I know that there's a lot of rumor that they're going to flip Poole, they're going to flip Kuminga, try to get up into the lottery. I don't think either is going to happen. I'm on team. I don't believe that rumor. Now, just because I'm on that team doesn't mean my team is right. I don't know. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Trace Jackson Davis, I'm trying to speak it into existence. Trace Jackson Davis at 19th from Indiana at 19, and not just because I went to IU, not just because the banner's up there. I really do think he would fit the Warriors. The right small ball 5 for a team that when it comes to drafting a traditional center, it's always been a little bit of a square peg situation. So we'll be talking to Marcus Thompson about this a little bit later on. I'm sure we'll be talking to Larry Krueger about this a little bit later on. Can I turn dark just for a minute? Because we're watching the debate about where this draft really starts at 2. Is it going to be Scoot Henderson or is it going to be Brandon Miller going to the Charlotte Hornets? And apparently Brandon Miller is starting to see his name being used at being drafted number 2 behind Wembanyama more than Scoot Henderson. And Henderson has been the guy that has had so many articles written about him and his potential and what he could be one day that it sort of knocked Brandon Miller back a little bit. Plus, Brandon Miller's got, a relationship to a death in college. This sounds a little sickening, and this is where it turns dark. I wonder if NBA teams, if we're going to shoot them and inject them with a little sodium pentothal, wouldn't almost look at that, not the action, but how he dealt with it as an attribute. Alabama's Brandon Miller delivered a gun to a person who then used that gun in a murder. This is not to be debated. This apparently is the matter of fact. It happened. It's not good. It sounds kind of gross. But if you're an NBA team evaluating Brandon Miller, maybe you're a little bit impressed by the way he handled an awful lot of a negative attention that rightfully so came down on him and the Alabama program. And that kid didn't buckle under an intense media spotlight. When I'm looking at player attributes, mental toughness, the ability to tune out noise in media, in social media. Again, this is a dark way to find out that a player has that attribute, but I think that Brandon Miller has checked that box. Again, this might be a little dark for some people, but look, the kid doesn't rattle. With the world saying he's involved in a murder, he's still out there getting 19 and 8. And he wasn't involved in the murder. He was not involved. They know that. But he might have brought the weapon that did the murdering. And there really is no might. He did. Little dark, but he's already, in my mind, kind of past that trappings of fame media spotlight question that you really don't know how a player will react to it until they get that spotlight put upon them. Adam Silver has gone out of his way to talk about how miserable players in his league are because they can't put their phones down. They can't stop listening to the noise. It's really weird. But I wonder if that isn't allowing Brandon Miller's stock to grow in the eyes of some NBA evaluators. Like, this kid got handed the shit stick of the internet, and it rolled right off of him. To me, there's something there. It's a dark way to find out you got that attribute, but there it is. I saw a story. I told you that the EA is about to come back out with a college game. There is now some group licensing company suing EA over NIL rights, arguing the video game circumvented league. Just stop it. We need this video game. Stop it. Give every kid $300. I don't know what to tell you anymore. Just give me the damn video game. This is the point where I join the college conversation where I say out loud, I don't care what kid gets screwed over. Like, I'm taking the Ray Ratto advice. Always root for yourself. I just want this college football video game, and I want it soon. No more holdups. No more delays. Jeez. Hold on. This feels like the sip of the day. Hold on. Good coffee this morning. Good coffee. Uncle Damon wants to give you good advice. The amount of professional athletes who should just be tuning into the Plus to get this good advice should be growing by the day. It really should. Did you see that Tyreek Hill couldn't help but take the bait, apparently? Now, it doesn't sound like much of anything is going to be happening down in Miami, but ESPN has a story that Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill is under investigations for assault battery at a Miami Beach marina. According to WPLG TV in Miami, Hill allegedly hit a marina employee during a disagreement that took place this past weekend. Miami sports radio show host Andy Slater reported that Hill slapped the employee on the back of the head, but that the employee has declined to press charges at this time. So, good. The Dolphins kind of feel like they know this is one big scoop of nothing because they released a statement. And whenever the statement is anything other than we refuse to comment on it this time, and they actually comment, even though they're trying to float that we're not commenting on it at this time. So that's what's going on here. The Dolphins said, we're aware of the situation and have been in contact with Tyreek. The Dolphins said, we will reserve further comment at this time. But in other words, we've already been in touch with Tyreek about this. We know it's kind of a big scoop of nonsense. And look, all I'm just telling you is, Tyreek, don't touch anybody. There's nothing to be gained. There's just nothing to be gained. Play the risk-reward game in your own mind. What do you have to gain beyond a temporary moment of satisfaction by smacking somebody in the back of their head? You have everything to lose. You have nothing to gain in that transaction. And you shouldn't be looking to have a transaction with anyone in a public space if you're a professional athlete that you have nothing to gain with other than goodwill because you were wonderful. You stopped, you took a picture, and you smiled, and you signed an autograph. That's what you need to do. Do not get involved in dicking around with nobodies. That's good advice from Uncle Damon if you're a professional athlete. Just knock it off. Just knock it off. What do you have to lose? Possibly hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in a lawsuit. What does this person have to lose? Nothing. They're working at a dock in a Miami marina. Not an arena, marina. Make good choices. That's what Cousin Brucey, Uncle Brucey would tell you all about. Make good choices. Before we get into Club Plus, I want to wrap up with a happy birthday, but not a happy birthday to someone, but a happy birthday to something. And it's something that never has appealed to me. It's something that I didn't think was going to be around as long as it has been now, but it is clearly starting to work, and there is an uptick in interest that is undeniable. And even though something isn't for me, doesn't mean it might not be for you. And I have to, at this point in time, tip my cap off and salute the WNBA. The WNBA turns 26 years old today. If you are saying, well, the day your league is born is the day that it contests its first game, the WNBA debuted with its first ever league game today. In 1997, the New York Liberty defeated the Los Angeles Sparks. Big win for Rebecca Lobo over Lisa Leslie. And the fact that I know those names means that, there you go, WNBA. There's proof that you've won in some way right there. But the league is growing. I wonder if the Bay Area will ever get a WNBA team. I wonder how the Bay Area would support a WNBA team, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it actually happen eventually. And I don't know if the league could absolutely stand on its own financially, but there is no doubt the WNBA is working more and garnering more legitimate interest from legitimate sports fans than ever before. So cheers to the WNBA, 26 years old, which means, woo, she's in her prime, baby. In her prime. Thanks to all of you, whether you be 26, 36, 46, 16, or only 6 years old. It's great to have you here watching today. It truly is. It's wonderful to have you aboard. Again, welcome, Japan. Thank you, Shirashi, for translating the Ohtani videos. Thanks to all of you for coming in today, gathering before the show even starts in the chat room. You Plusers are phenomenal, and we're going to party with you as we get into Club Plus right now. But if you're listening on the podcast, I say thank you so very much for doing that today, and please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Yeah. Welcome. Jack prevented us from having a Club Plus yesterday. Came on down here to steal the show. Here's the thing, someone's like, is it gross to have your kid on the video? Look, I don't want to exploit my own kids. I don't want to put them out there for public consumption, but I literally can't stop him from running in here and jumping on my lap. It's not like I'm asking him to do it. That would be gross. If I were using the kid, that would be gross. He's just coming in here to play with a big pastel light and buttons here that I get to push and do things like this. Am I plugged in? I don't know if this is plugged in. I don't know. Did you get that oi, oi, oi? I don't know. So, look, all I can tell you is that Blackened Whiskey is the official whiskey of Club Plus, that my friends at Uncle Boys got the official burger and officially the official lumpia, and the official sandwich is always at Ike's. It officially sucks. That Scott Cousins rule. R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. Damn you, Scott Cousins. Yeah, he's the guy who broke the ankle of Buster Posey. Mr. Bridge saying Damon a sake sponsorship. Damon sipping on hot sake. He'll be all mollered up by 11:35. Dude, sake will get you sideways quickly. It's done that to me. It's done that to me. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got. Oh, what do you know? How about that? Somebody said, R.I.P. Cougar, can we trade Kapler for Bochy at the deadline? No. Look, Kapler's a little weird. The way he talks is a little weird. The way he presents is a little weird. But when it's starting to work, it's the wrong time to talk about how he's not the right guy for the job. I mean, there's an element to this last month that says this team's getting along. This team's having fun. This team is comfortable in its own skin. And, I mean, that's a good place to start, right? That's a good place to start. Up, jingle jangle. Yosarian, super chatting it, 420. I'm high already. I'm having a glass of black and taking a dab for the Blues. Thank you, Yosarian. Thank you. I hope your workday's over. But thank you very, very much. Let's see. Oh, boy. Here we go again on Draymond. Sabonis grabbed his leg. He did. He did. But Draymond absolutely gave him the emphatic stomp on the chest that probably really didn't need to happen. Otis Bird, always good to see you. He said Draymond's running out of options. I mean, that's the thing. There aren't a lot of options out there for him at the price point he's looking for. Sometimes it's better to stay with what works than try to come up with the grass is greener somewhere else scenario. It's real simple. If Draymond was smart, he's going to roll with Steph Curry to the end of the Steph Curry ride. Expect his contract to be tied directly to the length of time remaining on Steph's contract. That's the way I would look at it if I were the Warriors. But Otis Bird III, good to talk to you, man. Good to look at you. Good to see you. Spurs for Draymond. Again, they're a long, long way from contending. Long way from contending. Why would Draymond Green want to be a Spur right now? Here, Flint on Demand's got a pretty good idea here, saying Draymond needs to go to the 1994 Knicks. Flint on Demand. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This is also, I was talking about Brandon Miller a little bit later on. I just saw this before I went on too. Brandon Miller says Paul George is his NBA greatest of all time. Yeah, I don't know how you go second overall then, if that's what you really feel. Dude, Paul George isn't even Paul George's favorite Paul George of all time. I really don't think so. Paul George is good, but he's certainly not the greatest of anything. Really, Paul George isn't even the best player on his own team. What are you talking about? That's a little weird. Maybe they're friends. Maybe they're cousins. I don't know. The Kings hate Draymond. Hard seeing him go to Sacramento. Look, everyone hates Draymond Green until he's on your team. Then you love him. It's like Barry Bonds. Everybody hates Barry Bonds until he's hitting cleanup in your lineup. So, yeah, that's just, and again, fans, they'll go from hating him to loving him real quick. Kings radio hosts hate Draymond. I can't think of anything that the team should think of less than what radio hosts locally think. R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. Damon, stop hating on EA. They've given us Madden. Now they're bringing back NCAA football. We'll bring it back. That's the thing. I'm not hating on them. I'm hating on anyone who's got this lawsuit now. Stop it. Stop suing EA. Just pay the kids a couple of $100. And here's the thing. If your name is in a video game, you really don't deserve that much more than a couple $100,000. You're not helping really sell the video game, and then no one cares. Again, make it a real nice, quick jingle jangle for some kids, and there you go. Well, they need a percentage of sales. No, that's not how it works. But I do want that video game. I do want that video game. Let's see what else we got today. Ernie Chavez says, Michael Irvin got screwed over on some bullshit. I think so. I mean, considering that there's never anything that's really come out of that, it feels a little weird. It feels a little weird what happened to Michael Irvin. And getting into it with some woman in a lobby. And if you've seen the video, it really didn't get into it. He didn't do anything but talk to her, shake her hand. It's weird. It's weird. Sporticus saying Tyreek couldn't get away with that kind of crap in Club Plus. Oh, no, we got security here. We're going to prevent anyone from smacking around anybody. Unless, of course, you deserve the smack, in which case anyone who deserves to be smacked will be allowed to be smacked in Club Plus. We don't endorse violence, yet at the same time, we do believe that a little bit of a beating will keep you honest if you got it coming to you. Irwin all over the chat today says, WNBA in Oakland with Steph as a co-owner? Look, Steph is a huge advocate of women's basketball. Being a co-owner would add a little bit of a glamour. That any WNBA team in the Bay Area would need, you'd think. I wonder if that wouldn't be a solution for, having games still over at the arena over in Oakland, or if they'd want to put that in Chase Center. And again, I also don't even know that the WNBA would necessarily, totally, absolutely, 100% work in the Bay Area. If there's one thing I'm pretty sure of, it's that, if the women's college basketball down at Stanford is pretty good. I don't think they're getting a major big attendance when they play. I don't know if the city, the Bay Area, would support a WNBA team like, another professional franchise, because this town, it loves its pro teams. And I'm not saying that the WNBA is unprofessional, but would people really want to go ahead and sign up for WNBA season tickets? To this day, even though I'm congratulating the WNBA on 26 years of success, I have yet to meet anyone, and I really mean this. This isn't meant as an insult either. I've yet to meet anyone who is admitted to purchasing their WNBA ticket. I've known a lot of people who've been given WNBA tickets, but purchasing a WNBA ticket, I still have not met that person. No, I don't go around asking everyone I see, have you bought a WNBA ticket? I'm sure it's happened. But I really don't know what the business would be. Mitch, the best thing I've heard about the WNBA is when Jim Rome was talking about the first All-Star game, and he said, I can't wait for the layup contest. That's right. Look, I used to say, and to an extent, I still believe this, and this is why I just can't get into women's basketball. And it's not the women's fault that I can't get into basketball. It's just I'm a big basketball fan. The game went above the rim, and there's hard going back to it. It's really no going back to it. Women's basketball is like watching men's basketball being played in like 3 feet of water. They're just all more floor bound. And I understand that there's a degree of skill and all that to it, but it just, to me, like if you like women's basketball, college women's basketball is where excitement is. I don't know about WNBA teams, but again, it's not for me. Oh, Erwin wants to know, by the way, how is Tunnel Top Park? If you got kids and you live in San Francisco, take them to the Tunnel Top Parks that they built over there. They're extraordinary. It's like the coolest playground you've ever seen, and it's all like natural stuff. There's no metal out there. It's all like wooden structures, rock walls, and things to climb. It's a special park. And man, you want to talk about a view on a nice day? There's the Golden Gate Bridge right there. Tunnel Top is awesome. Great place to bring kids. Great place. Jack Bruce was the star of the show. Jack is a natural. Thank you very much, guys. Jack, VIP status? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I think that when Jack was in here playing around with the headphones, he might have unplugged them from the machine, so that's why I couldn't hear the... But you're telling me right now it is working, so thank you very much. Ike is voting yes on Ohtani. Of course he is. Who could possibly vote no on Ohtani? Yeah, Jack's checking IDs, coming into Club Plus, tossing the hooligans. Thank you, Sporticus. Thank you very much. Michelle Haberman voting yes on a WNBA team in the Bay. Some legit ballers in the league right now. I have to travel to Seattle or Phoenix or New York or Chicago to see it in person. There you go. I mean, when will the number crunchers look at all the price points associated with that and say, yeah, Bay Area, let's do it? Ernie Chavez throwing a little love to Uncle Boys. That is a great burger. Try the lumpia. Try the lumpia. It is good. Oh, this is R.I.P. Cougar Rebels. Nah, D. Bruce, I wasn't saying you were hating on them. I mean, whoever's suing them. Thank you very much. You're good with me, R.I.P. Cougar Rebel. You got a ton of house credit. You know that. Speaking of house credit, Jingle Jangle coming in from Sugar Shane 555. I cannot watch every show live, but keep up the great work. Thank you very, very much. Oh, by the way, Jillian is upstairs wrangling Jack today. He says he really wants to crash the show. I thought I heard a little disturbance in the force upstairs above me. I did. That was Jack wanting to crash the show. Not today, buddy. Not today. Oh, and here it is. You know how she calmed him down? Marshmallows to the rescue. Bag of mini marshmallows. Yeah, that's a good way to keep Jack occupied. Ooh, Ooh, jingle jangle. Thank you very much. Here's to making good decisions. B Paul 30. Thank you very, very much. Mitch, oh, thank you much. Here's $10 to making bad decisions. Dude, I want to party with both you guys. By the way, speaking of partying with you guys, we are getting closer and closer to reaching the date and location of the first official Club Plus meetup party. So we'll be bringing you the details of that as soon as we've got it all ironed out. But it is going to happen. It's going to happen. Let's see what else we got. Jack the VIP, thank you very, very much. Jack is the VIP. He doesn't have to follow the dress code. No, he can come in shirt off style. No doubt about that. But we do have a problem with full nudity with Jack. He loves to be naked, boy, and we got to tell him all the time, man, put that little wiener away. Get some underpants on, kid. He likes to get naked and run outside, which, might have been adorable in the real toddler years, but once you get to 4 or 5, you got to start covering it up. You know what I mean? Just can't be giving it away. Ooh, Damon, let's do a Plus Army barbecue at Chrissy Fields. That would be fun. That would be real fun. Only if I can work the grill, though. By the way, you know what I want, Uncle Boys? I want to come in and work the grill one day. I'm a burger flipper in my heart. I could absolutely get done some burgers for you. Damon, do you have the old school drops? Oh, nothing but the old school drops. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yes, we will be paying for the marshmallows a little bit later on. There will be a sugar high. There's always a sugar high. Jack, influenced by beta breakers. Yeah, that's the nudity. Kathy saying he truly is a son of San Francisco. Indeed he is. Hey, thanks to all of you for stopping by today. Thanks to everyone who made a jingle jangle. I really appreciate that. I'm telling you, that Club Plus barbecue is a great idea. We're going to work on that. We're going to explore that. And I think we could pull that off with very little of anything. Do we even need a permit for that? I think we just got to put the flag up. Get some hamburger buns and party. We'll figure out a way to do it. We'll figure out a way to do it. I love your suggestions. I love your support. Thank you, all of you, for your constant support. It means so very much to us as we grow this thing. And again, we're about to conquer Japan. The show's crossing oceans, baby. There's no radio signal going across oceans. I couldn't help but notice that. But boy, Ohtani Tuesdays going global. Ooh, there we go. We're no need for permit. Chrissy Field is perfect for the Plus Army. What, only 11 likes today? All right, shame on all of you. Stop betraying the show. Everyone hit that like button. Everyone hit that like button. Sean Crawford. Club Plus barbecue would be dope. Thank you very much, RIP Cougar. Great show. Congratulations, Sean. Thank you very, very much. Mitch, thank you very much. Thank you for making it jingle jangle. Ooh, look at this. Ike, down with the barbecue. You man the grill. I'll bring the Dutch Crunch. Uncle Boy brings the UB sauce. I'm not a Dutch Crunch guy. Can we do something other than I don't like it cutting the roof of my mouth. Here's the perfect way to wrap it up when it comes to permits. We don't need no stinking badges. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have more with Larry Krueger a little bit later on. Keep watching the eyes for that Marcus Thompson video a little bit later on today. And thank you. You are all awesome. You really, truly are. It means so much to me that you come on by. You keep supporting this. Thank you from Jillian, yours truly, from Jack and Ozzy, who is just too cool for school. We can't afford Ozzy at this point. Too much of a price point on that young man. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I just want to remind you that you don't have to go home. No, you don't, but you cannot stay here.